award today is for excellence in a part-time or adjunct teaching role and non-tenure track teaching role. The College of Arts and Sciences prides itself on a small student-to-faculty ratio and ready access to faculty mentorship. It's very much the Creighton way of educating. Approximately 30% of our students will be instructed at any time by part-time or adjunct faculty members who give up their time and energy to offer excellent learning experiences. Today we honor 2 of those dedicated teachers, and I would like to ask Chris Pliotska to please come to the podium. Chris currently is an adjunct instructor of philosophy, and he has served as a resident instructor and part-time instructor since 2003. He primarily has taught philosophy courses in a core curriculum where students have consistently rated him in the top quartile of all college faculty. This, in spite of his reputation as an unusually tough grader. Mr. Pliotska excels at inspiring the most promising students in his courses to pursue the philosophy major. He has helped to mentor some of the most talented majors for graduate study through his regular participation in weekly discussions of Phi Sigma Tau of the International Philosophy Honor Society. Furthermore, he's demonstrated a commitment to the students and to teaching by mentoring independent study courses for majors as an unpaid teaching overload. In addition to mentoring high-ability students, Chris has exemplified the Ignatian charism of Cura Personalis by assisting, through the Office of Student Support Services, some of the university's most at-risk students. Furthermore, he's provided large numbers of first-generation college students with supplemental instruction in selected sections of his Philosophy 107 courses. For his concern for his students, his excellent teaching, and his willingness to do more, we're proud to present Chris Pliotska with the 2012 Dean's Award for Excellence in Teaching by a non-tenured faculty member. Congratulations, Chris. I'd like to ask Jennifer Yee to come to the podium, please. Jennifer Yee began teaching in the Department of Exercise Sciences as an adjunct faculty member in 1997 while serving as the assistant strength and conditioning coach in athletics. She joined the department in a full-time capacity as an instructor in 2006. Her primary teaching responsibilities have been with Exercise Science 142, personalized weight training, and Exercise 40, designing the personalized fitness program. She's also taught freshman seminar in RSP 101 since 2002. Students have commented that her passion and her enthusiasm for the course material make them excited and eager to learn, and that her experiences as a strength coach and personal trainer enhance their learning and benefit them personally. She consistently elicits the highest student ratings in the department. And Jennifer's strong teaching performance has contributed to the increase among students in selecting exercise science as a major over the past several years. We were discussing earlier about the change from when Jennifer was a student here until now, the numbers going from approximately 12 to 54 graduates each year, which is a remarkable increase. She's been part of that. Her commitment to mentoring students outside the classroom marks her as a person for and with others. For motivating students to seek excellence, for consistently offering a high-quality learning experience, and for seeking the more in her role as a faculty member, we're proud to present Jennifer Yee with the 2012 Dean's Award for Excellence in Teaching by a non-tenure track faculty member. Congratulations again. Each year, the college gives 2 awards for advising. One award is given in recognition of the dedicated work that the faculty members invest in advising the college's first-year students. I asked Brian Kokensparger to come to the podium. I also would ask Dr. Richard Super, Director of the Lazio Studiorum program, to join us at the podium to assist in making this award. This fall, Brian Kokensparger assumed a new role as a member of the College of Arts and Sciences staff, namely Director of College Assessment. For a number of years, he has managed the enrollment of first-year students in the summer months before their arrival. He's taught computer science courses as a part-time instructor, and he continues to offer a senior perspective course through the Department of Journalism, Media, and Computing. Brian has served as a faculty preceptor every year for the past 6 years, teaching, guiding, and advising his first-year students with great enthusiasm and energy. First-year students know him from the promotional video of the Lazio Studiorum program in the bearded role of John Creighton, complete with top hat and morning coat. Got to ask him to come in costume today. Explaining to his contemporary self about the advising and orientation program. He's guided his fellow preceptors in the best ways to use the selected book, The Last Lecture, in sections of RSP 101 by compiling a 5-page handout replete with additional resources, a sample schedule, and a number of clever exercises to use in class. All this is designed to make the lessons of the book more meaningful. Brian's innovative approach for supporting advising was evident with his creation and implementation of the Robo Schedule, an online tool for an online tool for incoming first-year students that helps them choose their first college courses. Users have been very impressed with the ingenuity and the nearly glitch-free effectiveness of this design. Brian has provided patient and clerk counsel to other RSP advisors as he has explained the features of this new tool to them so that they would be able to respond to the questions raised by freshman students. Another advising project has involved developing an online smart advising system. Using his programming knowledge and skills, Brian has designed an interactive software system for advising based on an adaptation of Bloom's hierarchy of learning skills, moving from knowledge to application to analysis, and then to judgment and perspective taking. Dr. Richard Super, Director of the Lazio Studiorum program, will present the award. So, in recognition of his creative contributions and the quality of his advising, the College of Arts and Sciences is pleased to present this award to Brian Kokensparger for his outstanding service as an advisor to first-year students. The second award for advising recognizes the mentoring of students within a major at the college. The Arts and Sciences student members of the Student Senate nominate and select individuals for this advising award. And I'd like to ask Dr. Brian Spangler to come to the podium. Joel Estes, President of the Arts and Sciences Student Senate, will present the award, and I ask Joel to come also to the podium. Dr. Ryan Spangler was selected by the members of the Student Senate from among 13 college faculty members who were nominated by students for the advising award. Those who nominated him described him as a mentor, advisor, role model, and faculty member who exhibits characteristics typically defined by the Ignatian charisms of cura personalis and education of the whole person. Students report that they stop at his office multiple times a week to talk about their learning experiences of the week, that they receive advice on future goal planning for careers or graduate study, and that they feel free with Dr. Spangler to share both the joys and difficulties of their ongoing lives. One student said, "It is his genuineness when connecting with students that drew me to the major in the first place." Students have praised Dr. Spangler's advising for his words of encouragement, for providing insights, and for his active follow-up to their conversations. One said in mapping a program of study for the major or minor that he helps students determine how they can incorporate valuable study abroad experiences into their program. Students who seek his advice on career paths find him willing to listen to their interests and assist them in finding options that match their strengths. One student noted that Dr. Spangler used his own time to research alternative career options for her. He assisted another student by developing a timeline to prepare for graduate study in Spanish, and then mentored that student through the process of converting the term paper into a published article to bolster the student's application for graduate study. Dr. Spangler serves as an advisor to the Creighton chapter of Sigma Delta Pi, the National Collegiate Hispanic Honor Society. He guided the students of that society to organize the first Hispanic cultural event. He has invited classes of students to his house for meals and has engaged students in softball games with his family. Through these experiences, students have seen, as one said, the value that he places on faith, on family, and on caring for each individual. In recognition of his dedication to his students, to his discipline, and to providing excellent student learning opportunities by sharing of his own values, I am pleased to present Dr. Ryan Spangler the 2012 Dean's Award for Excellence in Advising to the major. Congratulations, Ryan. The award for service recognizes distinguished service to department, college, university, community, or profession. And I would like to call Dr. Merong Jiang to the podium. Merong has been a member of the Political Science Department at Creighton since 2004, first as a resident lecturer and then as a resident assistant professor and now as an assistant professor. He's known throughout the university as the director of the college's Asia World Center. His service commitments have included participating in the college's Faculty Senate and the College Diversity Project Board, serving as Creighton Faculty Moderator for Phi Delta Theta, the Asian Student Association, Moderator to Model United Nations, the International Relations Club, and the Martial Arts Club, participating as a board or committee member of the Omaha Sister City Association, the USA Eurasia Business Conference, and Community Telecast, and delivering public presentations for the Omaha Public Schools, Film Streams Theater, UNO, UNMC, Joslin Art Museum, St. Mary's College in Indiana, West Point Military Academy, and Creighton's Law School. Does the man ever sleep? Is it? However, Merong's most notable service contributions to the college have revolved around the many lectures, talks, exhibitions, and performances that he's managed to organize and host with the Asia World Center. These have been offered in the form of interdisciplinary reading series, collegial lunches with speakers, faculty lecture series, non-Western World Culture Week activities, distinguished invited lecture series, and a literature and arts residency program. He's worked with noted scholars, artists, administrators, and benefactors to bring to Creighton's campus many opportunities for the faculty, staff, students, and community members to extend their knowledge about and experiences with diverse cultures, global issues, social issues, and the fine and performing arts. Through his connections, he's brought visitors to Creighton from the Nanjing Arts Institute of China, Nanjing Hohai University, University of Hawaii's East-West Center, Harvard Law School, Northern Illinois University, and Marquette University, to the Tibetan monks of the Garden Chartsi Monastery in India, the Gallup Center for Muslim Studies, and again the U.S. Military Academy at West Point. For his tireless efforts to create innovative global learning opportunities for Creighton students, to provide scholarly exchanges for the faculty of the college, to engage the residents of the Omaha community, and for building the international reputation of the university, I am pleased to present this award for distinguished service to Dr. Merong Jiang. I asked Dr. Eileen Worth to come to the podium. Worth began at Creighton in 1991, and she served as the chair of the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, now Journalism, Media, and Computing, since 1998. Her dedication to the mission of Creighton and to the ideals and charisms of the Society of Jesus has characterized her work at Creighton. Moreover, her commitment to mission is evident in all areas of her scholarship, teaching, and service. Dr. Worth has published extensively on topics related to Ignatian spirituality, Catholic school communication strategies and public relations case studies, co-curricular activities in Jesuit education, social justice in times of natural tragedies, Catholic identity and public relations, Jesuit vocations, and Catholic responsibilities in media and public relations, among other topics. Her presentations have mirrored her publications in the areas of mission, social justice, and media, effects of Jesuit education, and Ignatian spirituality. Dr. Worth has demonstrated her commitment to the promotion of and support for all things Ignatian and for the mission and ideals of Creighton. She served on the advisory board for the American Jesuit Assistancy, the Jesuit Magazine Company, and the Catholic Voice. She served as a Creighton delegate to the Jesuit Heartland Conferences, served on the College of Arts and Sciences Mission Implementation Committee, and the university-wide Partners in the Mission Committee. She writes reflections for the online campus ministry page. She has received awards for her mission-related work from the Catholic Press Association, the Holy Name Housing Corporation, and the National Catholic Education Association. She's provided service to numerous Catholic high schools and elementary schools in the greater Omaha area, and for decades she has served as a host parent for international students and has sponsored refugee families. Dr. Worth has truly supported and lived the mission and the credo of Creighton University. Because of her lengthy commitment and active role in developing her own understanding of the Jesuits at Creighton, mentoring others in these ideals, and integrating both noted scholarship and lived experiences toward these ideals, Dr. Eileen Worth is most deserving of the Dedication to Mission Award. Because of her personal commitments, developing her own understanding of Catholic Jesuit education, her energetic and focused efforts to advance conversations about mission in the daily dialogue with faculty and staff, to lead others by her example, and to mentor the development of others seeking to better integrate the goals of mission into their professional work and professional lives, I'm very pleased to present to Dr. Eileen Worth this 2012 award for distinguished contributions to missions. John always has the best camera in the house. So. It seems that each year the nomination committee for the Dean's Award for Excellence in Scholarship faces the most difficult task of selecting an awardee. This year was no exception, and I asked Dr. Heather Fryer to come to the podium. Dr. Heather Fryer's scholarly productions have focused primarily on the American West and on contemporary 20th century American historical events. Her first book, Cowboys, Indians, and the Big Picture, published in 2002, received excellent reviews in its ability to offer an alternative to the debate about which images and styles represent the American West, as it was and is in the present day. Her second book, Enclosed Worlds in Open Space, Inverse Utopias and Social Landscape of the American West, published in 2010, was published in the top press for history of the American West. It examined the political and social implications of various federal reservations in the West. This book also received excellent reviews and was a featured book at the premier conference on the history of the West. Dr. Fryer also has published journal articles, presented conference papers, and given public presentations of her scholarly work, has served as a principal and co-curator for exhibits at Boston College and Portland State University, and has written numerous book reviews and short publications in her area of scholarship. Her current projects include a third book that examines the intersections of race, class, gender, religion, and politics in the academic and private writings of anthropologist Rosalie Hankey Wax, who lived from 1911 to 1998. A major research project solicited by Boys Town to write about and assist in curating historical files related to the Japanese Americans released from incarceration camps in the American West to live and work at Boys Town, and an article examining the impact of the U.S. Office of War Information Strategies on the way Americans view art by Japanese Americans creatively produced during their incarceration years. In addition to her own research, Dr. Fryer is committed to promoting undergraduate student research. She's worked actively and productively with students engaged on their own research projects. In an effort to provide guidance for them as they work toward writing and publish oral manuscripts, she developed and teaches an advanced seminar in the history department entitled Writing for Publication. So for her record of distinguished scholarly achievement, for infusing that scholarship into her work with students, and for using her skills of inquiry to address the informational needs of the community, we are pleased to present Dr. Heather Fryer with the 2012 Dean's Award for Excellence in Scholarship. The final Dean's Award for Professional Excellence that we bestow today is for teaching by a tenure-track faculty member, and I ask Amy Madura-Brock to come to the podium. Dr. Amy Madura-Brock of the Department of Psychology has demonstrated long-term success in teaching courses at multiple levels, from the large introductory psychology courses to advanced level specialty courses. She has taught 6 fully enrolled courses each academic year, in addition to spending large amounts of time connecting teaching to active learning research projects with individual students. In being nominated for this award, she received many letters of support from colleagues, supervisors, and former students. In those letters, Dr. Madura-Brock was described as demanding, yet fair, and engaging. Students have remarked that her teaching approach is to engage them through a multimedia approach that mixes use of text, case histories, video clips, discussions, role plays, and contemporary real-life examples. Her colleagues and supervisors who have visited her courses have praised her highly organized style, the amount of time she spends preparing for her courses, the active and engaging discussions that she facilitates in both very large and in smaller courses, and her use of technology for learning. She consistently receives very high course evaluations in the ratings for her students. Dr. Madura-Brock often is sought out for mentoring as students seek to develop research projects from the topics of their courses. She's guided many students through individual research projects. Later, those students seek her assistance in polishing their presentations that have been accepted for presentation at professional conferences. Students have described the way that she exemplifies the Jesuit charisms of Magis by striving for more and by setting high expectations. Cura personalis through her caring and mentoring for student success. And a woman for and with others by teaching life skills, values, and how to make a difference in the lives of at-risk individuals. Because of her investment in providing multifaceted learning opportunities, her commitment to excellent teaching at all levels, her advancement of student research, and for contributing to the personal development of her students, we're proud to present Dr. Amy Madura-Brock with the 2012 Dean's Award for Excellence in Teaching by a tenure-track faculty member. college's custom to ask the recipient of the full-time teaching award to say a few words. It's my pleasure to ask Dr. Muir-Brock if she would do so at this time.
First, thanks to Dean Leager for that lovely introduction. Honestly, I never thought I'd stand before you as the winner of this award. I'm deeply honored to be recognized among the college's best today and to have my name added to the list of fine teachers here at Creighton. I'm happy to be surrounded by my peers dedicated to teaching and research and service and mission. So I won't presume to tell you how to teach or even really how I teach. Instead, I'm going to tell you stories of moments that I feel have led me to become the educator I am today. Of course, my parents were my first teachers. They valued learning, taught me the importance of school, and challenged me to do more. I remember completing a simple 24-piece puzzle, having my mom tell me, it's too easy. Turn it over, put the brown side up, do the puzzle upside down. But the bottom line is, I always should know more, learn more. If I can kindle that love of learning in my students, I believe I've done them a lifetime of good. I often feel I've done my best teaching when I leave my students with open-ended ambiguity. In my internship class, students struggle with societal issues they face in the field. They struggle with poverty, family instability, overt abuse. I don't promise to have the answers to these, and we wrestle with these problems as a class. I'm thrilled to teach our Creighton students who are bright and eager, and I love to watch the wheels in their minds spin, even if that means that they leave my class with more questions than answers. Mrs. Kinder was my 6th grade teacher. She taught me that even apparently contradictory views can be reconciled. Mrs. Kinder was tasked with the job of teaching evolution and natural selection to well-indoctrinated Catholic school kids. Well, Mrs. Kinder explained eloquently natural selection, evolution, and she clearly explained that just because God may not have said boom, and she said boom very loudly, let there be birds, let there be fish. Indeed, that God may have had God's hand in the mix all along. That was important and meaningful. Through her, for the first time, I saw that the union of two subjects was more interesting than either subject alone. I saw the benefits of cross-disciplinary thinking, and I was engaged in the true value of a liberal arts and science education. I want my students to see themselves as a complex being, a combination of their biology, their interpsychological experience, and their role in society. In high school, Father Dave absolutely inspired me in AP English. One day he wrote on the board, "All that glitters is not gold," and told us to fight. The class was perplexed. The line says, "All that glitters is not gold, but gold glitters." Honestly, my mind spun. I had terrible laryngitis, but I squeaked out a request to go to the library where I looked up all in the big dictionary on the podium. I found a definition of all, meaning all the members of a group. I ran back, wrote this on the board. I had urgently wanted to solve the intellectual question, and I was so pleased I'd had the chance to do so. Through Father Dave, I learned these essential skills of engagement, critical thinking, challenge, debate, and finding new ways of seeing familiar information. His passion for teaching drove my quest to know more and gave me my first opportunity to really wallow in the intellectual mud. At college, I was at Notre Dame when they shifted their mission from a focus on excellence in undergraduate teaching to graduate education. Not everybody was happy with this choice, and I was invited by the student government to design and conduct a survey of faculty and staff asking about this change in mission. The survey found that most undergraduate students, and for that matter, most faculty, weren't excited about the change. They felt it would be detrimental to their experience at ND. While Notre Dame did refocus its priorities, but I did learn. I learned to stand up for what I believed. I learned I could use the tools of my trade as an emerging social scientist to ask important questions. I learned that bigger isn't always better. I know that my desire to teach at a school like Creighton was formed during my undergraduate education. That survey also asked a question that stays with me today. We asked our students, how often do your faculty talk about their research in their courses? I was amazed at how few students ever reported having heard their professors talk about their research in the classroom. With that in mind, every semester I attempt to talk about my teaching, my research in my teaching. I think that's extremely important. I'm hired to be a teacher and a researcher. I want my students to see my passion light up on my face about my work, and through that, see the utility, the importance, and applicability of scientific inquiry. I found my teaching role model at graduate school. John Westerfeld was clear, concise, he used case studies, and he used those case studies to teach us what was most important. He asked us, what's the lesson in this example? Why have I brought it to you? I attempt to do that with my students, and I was very pleased to hear my introduction mentioned that I do. It's important to me to teach the concepts of my discipline, and I know that we all must teach the topics of our discipline. But even more, I want my students to see the purpose and the utility in their learning. I teach them today so that they can continue to learn for the rest of their lives. Of course, here at Creighton, I have wonderful colleagues in the psychology department, many of whom have earned this award before me and many of whom will follow. Being in this environment of excellence, I've received great advice from do service about your areas of expertise, research about teaching, learn new tools, become an e-fellow. Perhaps most importantly, though, I was encouraged to let the developmental process of my career unfold, to allow my focus to ebb and flow. Sometimes I focus on scholarship, sometimes on teaching, sometimes on family. The Jesuit value of caring for the whole person applies to faculty and staff as well. As a counseling psychologist, I care for and respect my students as people. I want them to become men and women for and with others. I understand fully that I want my students to believe that I want them to think broadly, live fully, search for truth, that I must be a living example of these qualities. I'm thankful to the college, the psychology department, my husband and family for their support, and I am grateful for the continuous blessings of curiosity, intelligence, and the opportunity to serve.
Often when we talk about teaching or research, we sometimes tend to categorize it as either this way or that way, just to sort of underscore Dr. Bedore-Rock's achievements. Several weeks ago, she received notice that she's been awarded a $100,000 grant to examine attentional mechanisms of veterans who suffer from PTSD. Again, an example of someone who does the kind of applied research that is infused within student learning opportunities. So the complete person, a person who does it all. As we draw to a close, I'd like to thank a couple of individuals who made this all possible. First of all, Catherine Kelly for all of her efforts to organize, decorate, and manage this event. I'd like to thank Associate Dean Sharon Ishii-Jordan, who couldn't be here today. She's actually at a conference trying to learn how to do teaching excellence, extend teaching excellence off the new feedback system that we have. To Sharon for managing the process of soliciting nominations and forming the selection committees. I'd also like to thank Assistant Dean Mark Turner, who's responsible for setting up the plaques and for the videos here, for Joe Moore, the promotions coordinator, for his help in all of this. And I'd like to ask all present to join me in thanking Catherine, Sharon, Mark, and Joe. I'd like to call to your attention that one of our colleagues from the College of Arts and Sciences, Dr. Julianne Sukup-Strauss, will be recognized this afternoon with the bestowal of the university's award for research at the presidential convocation. Julie, would you stand up, please? Please consider attending that convocation so that we can again recognize Julie for this wonderful contributions that she makes in the field of research to her students. Again, one of the people who can do it all, as they say. So, this concludes our celebration of faculty achievements. Please continue to enjoy the events at Founders Week. And thank you again for your attendance today. Have a very good afternoon.